Happy New Year. I hope that you had a wonderful holiday season full of festivities, friends, family, and most importantly, food and the connection to God and nature. When we come into January, a lot of us feel like we have to turn that switch off, that the joy and happiness that we allowed ourselves to feel during the holidays is now over, and we pack it away with the Christmas ornaments and get back to normal life. Now, I do think there's importance of having structure in your life and having routines that support our well-being and our health, certainly. But too often, we think that comes at a sacrifice. And nowhere is that truer than in January when we turn to resolutions that restrict and deprive our own health. So we think that we're doing really well. We're going to cut back on all the sweets and we're going to go on this fabulous diet. We're going to lose all this weight. And that New Year's resolution is going to be deader than a doornail here in a couple weeks. So I'm going to encourage you a little differently as you start this new year. I want you to have chocolate. I want you to have treats. I want you to feel the joy that you had at the holiday season and carry it through this year. And today I'm going to share with you a tip for how to do that. So there are these wonderful things called cocoa nibs, and they are raw, pure chocolate in its most natural form. They're crunchy little bits, and they're called cocoa nibs. And they're packed with so much goodness, including the ability to support when we have that little craving for chocolate. So what we want to do is cocoa nibs are crushed cocoa beans, chocolate in its rawest, purest form. There's no sugar, there's no processing. It's just natural, bitter chocolate powder. Okay. And you're like, ooh, it's bitter. Well, this is dark chocolate. This is organic, real chocolate the way that nature intended it to be before companies got a hold of it and started putting weird oils and sugars with it. Okay. What we do with this is I take my coffee bean grinder and I take the bag of nibs, which you can get in my apothecary, and you grind them. You grind all of the nibs and you create this cocoa powder. Okay. And then from there, the sky's the limit. We can add a little tablespoon of that to smoothies. We can put it on oatmeal. We can mix it in yogurt. We can toss it in the trail mix. And we've just created a superfood boost. Now, you guys know I love my coffee. What I actually do is I put a tablespoon of that and I put it right in this little cup with my coffee. Okay. Then you have the mocha aspect of coffee, which is fabulous in my mind. Here's what's great about nibs, the cocoa bean nibs. You're getting magnesium, antioxidants, and iron. All of these are so fantastic in many ways because a lot of us are deficient in these things, number one. Number two, they're good for your health, and especially during wintertime when it's super cold. And we've just created the ability to support our nervous system with stress that comes from great holiday relaxed seasons into what high stress normal days that we call these things. But if really they're just a bundle of stress every day. So we've now created mood and help for our brain and our nervous system. We've created energy support and we've created heart health through all of this just through eating good chocolate. How fabulous is that? So there's a link in this newsletter that you can use to go over to the apothecary and get a bag of nibs. And I encourage you to do this for so many reasons. But number one, don't deprive yourself. It's 2026. We're beyond the restrictive dieting. We know that nature has all that we need to be healthy, and we're going to capitalize that in 2026. I also encourage you to reach out and get an appointment with me, and let's set goals for you that are actually meaningful and obtainable as you go into this new year. Be well, be happy, healthy, and happy 2026.